Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. Now, the other day I made some really messy, really sticky slime. It was the other week now. That video has since gone up, so you can check it out if you like to see the sort of mess that I got into. I read with that particular mix that I made, you could sculpt with it to a degree. So instead of just having it perish and threw it away, I had a quick pop at seeing if I could make something. And I did. Believe it or not, this guy here, Mr. Slimetopus, he was a foam egg and that slime. I will get a little zoom in shot put on the screen for you all right about now. This is my Slimetopus and he glows in the dark. He's so cool. He looked more like an octopus when I first constructed him, because this all pulled down and splayed out like tentacles down here, but then it kept pulling and it kept pulling and it kept pulling. And I wanted to rescue it and I didn't think quick enough, otherwise I'd have done this from the get-go. I have a little heat gun. So on go the blue gloves again. I'm like upping it and then heating it and heating it. And this is how he came out. I still like him. I still think he looks super cool and like an octopus. To a degree anyway. So yeah. I have since varnished him, that's why he's like super shiny. And I will later on tonight do a little show to show you that he does glow in the dark. I thought I need something for him to live on. That's why I've got a stone here. I'm hopefully going to get him. I might need to find a bigger one. But I want to glue him or put that on a more, it might need to be a bigger one. I want to make him a base basically. I've got bigger stones. I'll have bigger stones somewhere. Over there, he might do. He's a really big stone. I'll get him in a moment. So yeah, I'm going to base him, give him a little snail friend. Hence the air drying clay. That's going to be what I turn into an itty bitty snail and maybe a starfish. But for now, let me put him over there and these over there and these, because I'm going to have to save those for when I get a bigger stone. I've got my good for not drawing glossy photographic paper here. Varnish, and I can't remember what it's called. It is a palm plant of some such with thin green leaves, and basically these are all the ones that have fallen off from last year. So I was gathering them up, tidying up the plants, and I thought, oh, how cool would that be growing off the rock? So he's got a little summit around him. Obviously not this thick, I'm going to spread him out a bit, but so he is coming out from behind the sea reeds. But I want these to look like they're underwater, so I don't want them to look dry. So I'm going to try and gloss them. Now I've got a little drying station up there. So I'm going to attempt, anyway, to gloss these only part way up because I don't need the full length. Even though I really want that bottom piece because it's so cool. It's like a freaky ass nail attachment because it's slightly curved. I'll probably edit that a bit out. But yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, as I was saying, I've got a drying station up there, loads of blobs of blue tack. So I'm hopefully going to quickly varnish, hang, And hopefully I've got enough blue tack for all the reeds that I've got to do. So that's what I'm going to try and do now really quickly. And hopefully I won't lose the shape of some of these, because I really like how this one swirls. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get Stinky down here, because this is yacht varnish. And I've also got my trusty, got to burst the skin again. Nail varnish remover. Oh, there we go, bust the skin in quite epic fashion. Right, so nice and quick. And not too, though this might prove more troublesome than it would initially seem, because it wants to keep curling back over on itself. And I need to get this varnished all the way around. Okay, hopefully that's going to do it. So I'm going to whip up as many of these as possible and hope that the blue tack keeps them where I need them. Now I think I might be washing my hands in nail varnish remover after this. I feel like I've already got it in a couple of spots on my digits. So right now I'm going to clean everything up, put this stinky stuff away. Clean my hands up, because there's a definite varnish on my fingers. Air the place out a little bit more. Make sure that's nice and clean. For anyone out there who, like myself, lives in an area that does not sell metal deer, does not sell many things you actually need, nail varnish remover does work with getting varnish off your brush. Leaves it nice and soft as well. The big rock doesn't seem to be quite the right shape. It's very angular, so he's not going to sit on there very well. So I'm going to try and glue these three together like this, because that's going to hold it down, give it a bit more structure. So I'm going to try and get these glued in place with super glue. Now this will leave a little bit of a funny surface, but that doesn't matter because we're glossing over everything. So let's just see if we can get this to work. Now, I don't mind if we're going to see a bit of this super glue, because now it's oozing out because I squeezed it so hard. Because there's going to be reeds in place. So I think what we're going to do, oh yeah, I forgot I put a bead in there, is we're just going to let that dry. I want him on there as well, but I think if I wobble this, oh, should we try it? What did I say? Pick that up and put that there. I'm going to do it. Because as long as I decide not to do anything else for the next 24 hours in this corner, let's just see what we can do. And then I'll have to take note of time so I don't get tempted to do anything else to him until tomorrow, at very least, at very earliest this time. So I'm going to stick some. Now those we'll have to wait on. They definitely can't have anything further done to them. Got to find his point. Where was his point? Right there. That was his point. Alright, we're back after much varnishing and gluing and whittling to a degree of wood. So I glued this together, you saw that. And then I was like, oh, there's got to be a way to move this, and I want to have these coming up. And I had more ideas along the way. So I've got some old bed struts begging for something to be done with them. So we've got it a nice base. So it will be able to go somewhere now without worry of it actually wobbling. That's not going to wobble anywhere. And these had 2 coats in the end, because after the first coat I missed spots. So they're all done. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to glue these before we do anything else. Well, we're going to cut them down because we don't want full length. I only varnished part way. And we're going to pick the length we want, and we're going to start gluing these together. So hopefully we'll give these all a trim down first. Right, I think we're good to go. We need a little dot. Just to start bunching some of these together. There's going to be webbing along the way. That is fine. We'll resist temptation to pull on the web and do all that. Now, we're not trying to think too much about who's going where. I think that's what we're going to do, or is that slowly going down? I think it's going to stay there. Lovely. Last one. Should you just come out from there? Or should you also come up here? Yeah, you go in there nicely. We'll stick you up there. And then we're going to turn this off because we don't need that anymore. And you're going to go in there rather nicely. Right. We have our reeds. Looking lovely. We'll de-webify in a moment. So I think we'll start off with the big zone first. We're just going to be quite liberal with it. We don't mind having ripples with critters and the tide and whatnot. Bit of motion. Give it a little jigger in all the spots so it sinks all in where we want it to sink in. Okay, we are going to leave that to dry. So we need it to dry before we do the next bit, because that's where we're going to add our little starfish, our little snail, which I've put somewhere in there. We're going to have a little snail. So we are going to start adding, pop that there for a second, some little features. And I've made a little jellyfish of such. So I'm hoping I can attach that around here somewhere. So I've got a little dinky snail shell here, a little sea snail shell. So I'm going to make a little dinky pinky, a little dinky pinky. So I'm going to need a very tiny amount of this. And maybe this colour. This is where the dinky work comes in. The starfish is going to be quite tricky to make. But we'll see. Might be a case of making a little flat piece, letting it dry, and then cutting the starfish shape out. This one won't be too tricky to do. Little fiddly. That we're gonna glue that on, because I found out yesterday. What was I doing with this yesterday? Oh yes, making my one-eyed monster. Glue straight to this stuff, and it fixes better than just trying to push it in. So I'm going to get a bit of glue around there. Make sure we stick this on the right way. Give it a little squish down. We're just going to let that sit for a moment. Give a little tiny zoom in there so you can see, because you definitely won't see that little guy on the main camera up there. Let's get this all set up. There he is. Our little dinky pinky sea snail. And he's going to go in that nook. Right. Let's try and see how we're going to do the starfish. Whether we can make it outright or whether we flatten a piece and cut it. We don't need it to be huge. So let's see what happens if we just go for the traditional pinch method. We get a paintbrush, a thin handled paintbrush like maybe you. Yeah. Now what have we got that we can dimple texture his surface with? Give him a little tap with something. What can I see around me? Or I could just, if I got a stiff brush. Let's get a stiff brush. I'm sure there's one like you. Let's try you. I reckon it'll be good like that, and we'll dimple dot detail on. Dimple dot. How's this going to look? Very carefully. Let's have a look, see how he looks if we stick him on the rock. I reckon if we glue him down, pat down his corners. Yeah. Right, we're going to glue him. Pat down his corners. Flatten them out a tiny bit. Okay. Yes, we have an acceptable starfish. We will get him in place as well. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We are looking good. I think let's get some of these stones put in place. These little tiny ones that I found in the garden. Just to fill in around the reeds a little bit. Right, let's not time that because we're not done with that yet. I want to try and get you in. And do we want this anywhere? Yeah, we'll have that just there. I'm not going to be worried about gluing the whole of this shell as long as part of it's held. Because everything down here is going to be varnished when it's dried. Right. Jellyfish. Where can we have you? I need you attached to something, but not too obvious. Can we get you onto there? It'll be tricky, but I think we can. Because it's not heavy. It's not going to be easy. Okay. We don't need to varnish the jellyfish. I made him out of, what are those little press and seal bags? I was trying to make a jellyfish out of resin. That was not happening. I couldn't get the tentacles fine enough. But I made it out of, his dome bit is a circle of bubble wrap that I carefully cut out. And then his tentacles I cut out of like the thicker piece of the press and seal bag, folded it over itself and then held it over a candle so it curled up. Yeah. So I'll leave him there. We'll do a little zoom in of where we're at. So this is where we're at. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Starfish, jellyfish. A few stones in places. Our little sea snail down there, just poking out. So yeah, I think we're there. He has a home. So next time, I'll say next time, in but a second, varnishing everything, and then we are finished. Okay, we are back. I'm a little bit quiet because it's late at night, but I'm really wanting to crack on with a bit of this varnishing. So that's what we're going to do. I'll probably speed up or flash forward. I just wanted you to see. I get carried away at night sometimes. Crack that open, make a hole. I think we have got everywhere. So I'm going to tidy up and find a suitable place for that to dry. And then probably not tomorrow, probably the day after, because that's a fairly thick coat, because I want it to look super shiny. It'll be done. Alright, we are back. And our squid is based. Or our Slimetopus, sorry. That's so cool. I'm very pleased with that. He has a home. He needed one. He's also got his eye on a little jellyfish there that we made. It's hanging there, getting ready to be gobbled up. All I did was I glued a little felt on the base so we could pop him anywhere and he wouldn't slip and slide about the place. So let me get the camera up on the phone here. How cool is that? Now I've given it a high gloss varnish so it does look like it's underwater as best as we can get. Little starfish. There's the jellyfish. I'm quite proud of the jellyfish, I must say. It's come out really well, and if I shine the UV light on him, he has got a bit of a glow to him, which is really cool. So I like that. I don't think the phone camera does it too much justice, but it does glow really well, like his eyes. It really picks up the light. I don't think that's going to show too well on there. He's just going to... But yeah, I'll have to get a shot of him when it's dark so you can see him glow. But how cool is that? I'm so glad he has got an official home. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can see that one eye there. That one eye is on that jellyfish. He's definitely going to be eating him when back's turned. But yeah, I'm loving how he came out. To say that he was just slime to begin with is quite cool, and it shows that you can sculpt with that slime, though he's slowly getting a little nib pop through on his head. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that's come out really cool. I love all the texture here that we managed to achieve with it as well. And get in there nice and close. This is a really cool effect. So yeah, later on tonight, I'll whip him out, charge him up, and we'll get a night shot so you can see him glow. Yeah, like I say, I'm really pleased with that. Not bad for slime and a foam egg. So, yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this random little journey we went on making him and his little habitat. Pop him that way so you can see him a bit better, so you've not just got this. Well, it looks pretty cool from that angle as well. It's like, what is it? Boom. Yeah, I'm getting distracted. And I love the feel of everything, because you can feel a little bit of the sand through the glue, through the varnish as well. And I did put heaps on there because I wanted it super, super shiny. So it took quite a bit of time to dry. This took about a week to dry completely. But yeah, so that's him. You can sculpt with slime. You just have to be a bit patient, a bit persistent, and think outside the box. And I have to remember to get my heat gun out more often. It's just a sweet little handheld number, but it does such a good job. I think it was only like a tenner as well, so quite a steal. Actually, it was less than that. Yeah, I think it was about £8. So yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by and checking me and my channel out and seeing what we're up to. We're going to be, he gave me ideas, there is going to be another slime creation on the way, on the horizon. I say on the horizon, it's probably going to be about 3-4 weeks in the making, because it's going to be using air drying clay and it's going to be quite chunky, so that's going to take a load of time to dry. Then we're going to have to wait for the slime to dry. But yeah, it's going to be cool. I hope you all like it. So on that, like if you like what you see, comment if you've got something to say, and subscribe if you really like what you see and you want to see more and know when it's coming. Thank you all so much again. I'm absolutely loving this journey. I hope you are too. And thank you to all the new subscribers and the old subscribers. Let's keep growing. Let's see what we can produce. Take care and see you in the next one.